Hey everybody, and welcome to Matt the Garden Guy, your go-to podcast for all things gardening and, well, a little bit more. Who am I? Well, I'm Matt. I'm a passionate gardener who turned his backyard hobby into a platform to share knowledge, tips, and experience with fellow gardening enthusiasts. It all began with my large home garden, where friends and neighbors constantly asked for advice on how to grow this or fix that. To help more people, I decided to create content and share my gardening journey with the world. In this podcast, you will find a mixture of gardening tutorials, tips on what to grow, how to grow it, and even solutions to common gardening challenges. But it's not just about the plants. It's about family too. I often feature my wife and kids in episodes as we talk about how gardening is a wonderful way to bond with our loved ones, teach them about nature, and even get them to appreciate where their food comes from. A little bit more about me. When I'm not in the garden, I work as an infrastructure manager. Gardening is my way to escape from the tech world. It's a way for me to unwind and reconnect with the simpler nature side of life. My kids share this passion for outdoors as well, and we spend a lot of time together in the garden, exploring, learning, and just having fun. So, whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, this podcast is just for you. Join me as I dig into the dirt and discover the joys of gardening, family, and outdoor living. Let's grow something amazing together. Hey everybody, how you doing? Well, you can tell that the fall harvest is coming here soon. It's about, low 60s here right now. I don't know about you, but our growing season took a really slow start. And it was mostly because of all that rain that we had. But finally, everything popped. And we've been harvesting like crazy. But as the season's starting to wind down, you can really tell. And I can normally tell by my tomatoes. You'll see the leaves will start to look all droopy, lose their color, and just not be filled out as much. And we'll definitely want to watch them as they start turning, like this one down here. Go and grab our Chavy Choppies and get that guy out of there. As the season is coming down, I tend to see my tomatoes turn really fast. So you really want to stay on top of your tomatoes. All right, so one thing that's been harvesting really good this year are our beans. With Jen over here getting them. And then we're dealing with some of these pests on our Brussels sprouts. I've treated this a little bit. They keep coming back. We've identified what they are. And we are putting a organic spray on it. But I think it's gonna be good. We'll keep posting on that. So the Brussels sprout plants here. This one right there was getting them as well. And this one, they're all dead on there and they're not coming back. Or I don't see any of them. So Kinsley, what's your favorite thing about gardening?
I love to plant with my dad.
Alrighty, so besides harvesting, we are also getting our fall winter garden ready to go. Inside of our 16 by 8 foot hoop house, we have a lot of our cold weather crops growing, like our broccoli, kohlrabi, cabbage. We planted some more carrots. We have a bunch of radishes and a lot of those leafy greens. So what we do with the cabbages is we just throw all the seeds in there, wait for them to grow up pretty good, and then we'll just pull the best of the best and transplant them to exactly where we want. Our other items, like our lettuces, we'll kind of do the same thing. We'll put a nice long row of lettuce, and then as they grow up, we'll go ahead and thin those out. Again, saving the best of the best. And while we're in here, we go ahead and eat some pepper plants that are still growing. Something I like doing when I come out in my garden, just pick it off and go ahead and mow on it. And while all those cold weather crop plants are starting to germinate, I'll go ahead and look at my plants that I have in there. So I have these little tiny kind of, I don't really know what they are. They are a sweet pepper, but these sweet peppers have a little bit of a heat to them, so they might have got mixed or the tag is wrong. But I have some amazing bell peppers in here, so I'll just take a look at those. I gotta harvest some of those. And I just have some other herbs in here that I'll just go ahead and clean up. I'm also growing some baby bok choy. We love using baby bok choy. We use it a lot in our soups or our ramen noodle soup, so I'm really hoping to get some baby bok choy popping up here. We had an issue with it at the beginning of the year because it got so hot and it just bolted and we could never get to it. If you don't have a hoop house to put them in, that's okay. Just go ahead and get them outside, but you're gonna wanna make sure you cover them up when the weather starts dropping down. Probably in the mid to low 50s, you're gonna wanna cover those up. And you could build like a mini greenhouse. I've done that before and it works really good. So turning our way outside here, we have some celery root. Now celery root is something really awesome that we use in a lot of our soups and stews here. And that will grow until, for us here in Zone 5B, until about probably late October. And then we'll start pulling those out of the ground. We'll want to make sure we continue to keep those watered because those balls, those root balls will really dry out if we don't keep them watered. We'll start looking at our celery. We grow a lot of celery too. We'll start looking at our celery and start pulling some of those out. And whatever we don't use, we'll end up just freezing and using them for probably like bone broth again, or for some soups and stews. As the season starts winding down, we'll start looking at the plants that we do have and start looking at them and making sure they're still producing, or if they're pretty diseased in that, we're gonna wanna pull those out. Right now I'm looking at my green beans, and some of the plants have some pretty gnarly holes in them, but I mean the leaves, but they should be fine. They're still producing green beans pretty good. And I have another patch right next to it that is thriving right now, so we're good. For me, most of my warm weather crops, so my cucumbers, my tomatoes, my peppers, those plants outside, I probably got another month-ish of harvesting on them. So I want to make sure, like I said earlier, we pay really good attention to those tomatoes, especially because those guys are going to start going really quick as the temperature drops down. Well, I hope you had a great Labor Day today. We had a pretty good day. We went to the county fair this morning. I tell you though, those county fairs, for us at least, the prices are getting outrageous. For the kid games, for the foods, for the rides. We didn't really do too much, but hope you guys had a great Labor Day today. And you'll catch me in my garden. It's Matt the Garden Guy. Keep growing. We'll talk to you later. Hey, just want to let you know, you can find me on all of those major platforms out there. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. Just check Matt the Garden Guy. While you're there, shoot me a message if you have any, need any help or got any ideas for some topics. Also, while you're there, check out my videos. We'll talk to you later.